A man stands before you. His mind turns to butterflies, his thighs into butter. I'm sorry, he says. He pulls the knife out of your back. Small splinters of ceramic plates rain down from ahead. Better take cover. The three of you try to hide under an umbrella, but it fades into a pair of lips, just in case. Casciato's round face became the moon. Una vez más, tratas a cantar. You think back to your childhood, smiling fondly about a dinner you had with your parents. But who's that at the head of the table? Certainly not someone you've seen before. The ceramic plates continue to rain down. Why don't we try fighting back? Asks Lydia. You stare at her with too much concern. It's worth a shot. The rain picks up and becomes stronger. Lydia is bombarded with shrapnel. Roses grow out of her back. It's alright. You try to console her, but every attempt to talk results in...
Take a hit of this. You're at the bar. Those people in the back, you know they're up to something. If you can prove it, you'll bust them for good. You can't wait any longer. You run over and stab one of them in the back. He splits in two as molten lead bubbles up from the floor. The vines constrict around you and leeches burst out from under your skin. You try to writhe in agony, but every attempt to writhe results in...
It is with considerable difficulty that I remember the original era of my being. All the events of that period appear confused and indistinct. A strange multiplicity of sensations seized me, and I saw, felt, heard, and smelt at the same time. And it was, indeed, a long time before I learned to distinguish between the operations of my various senses. By degrees, I remember a stronger light pressed upon my nerves, so that I was obliged to shut my eyes. Darkness then came over me and troubled me, but hardly had I felt this when, by opening my eyes, as I now suppose, the light poured in upon me again. I walked and, I believe, descended, but I presently found a great alteration in my sensations. Before, dark and opaque bodies had surrounded me, impervious to my touch or sight, but I now found that I could wander on at liberty, with no obstacles which I could not either surmount or avoid. The light became more and more oppressive to me, and the heat wearying me as I walked. I sought a place where I could receive shade. This was the forest near Ingolstadt, and here I lay by the forest. This roused me from my nearly dormant state. I ate some berries which I found hanging on the trees or lying on the ground. I slaked my thirst at the brook, and then lying down was overcome by sleep. It was dark when I awoke. I felt cold also, and half frightened, as it were, instinctively finding myself so desolate. Before I had quitted your apartment on a sensation of cold, I had covered myself with some clothes, but these were insufficient to secure me from the dews of night.
I was a poor, helpless, miserable wretch. I knew and could distinguish nothing. But feeling pain invade me on all sides, I sat down and wept.
Soon I took a watch toward the island and had my sensation of pleasure. I started up and beheld a radiant form rise from among the trees. I gazed with a kind of wonder. It moved slowly, but it enlightened my path, and I again went out in search of berries. I was still cold when under one of the trees I found a huge cloak with which I covered myself and sat down upon the ground. No distinct ideas occupied my mind. All was confused. I felt light, and hunger, and thirst, and darkness. Innumerable sounds rang in my ears.
And on all sides various scents saluted me. The only object that I could distinguish was the bright moon,
And I fixed my eyes on that with pleasure. Several changes of day and night passed,
And the orb
of night had
greatly lessened.
when I began to distinguish my sensations from each other.
I gradually saw
plainly the
A stream that
supplied me with drink and
trees that shaded me with their foliage. I was delighted
when I first discovered what a pleasant soul, which after several years proceeded from the throats of little wood animals who had often intercepted the light from my eyes.
I began also to observe with greater accuracy
The forms that surrounded me and to perceive the boundaries of the radiant roof of light which canopied me. Sometimes I tried to imitate the pleasant songs of the birds, but was unable.
Sometimes I wished to express my sensations in my own mode,
but the uncouth and inarticulate sounds which broke from me frightened me into silence again. The moon had disappeared from the night, and again, with a lessened form, showed itself while I still remained in the forest. My sensations, held by this time, became distinct, and my mind received